Hello. It's another week. It's another Friday sitting at my desk. And this week has felt like a lot of things have moved for me. I mean, I think that's what happens when you are so overtly like, this is what I'm claiming, this is who I am, and this is what I am going to be committed to do as a leader. Because last Saturday in my newsletter, I just kind of went for it. I gave you exactly where my heart is, exactly what I've been feeling and thinking. And I even used the term manifesto. Whether that is the term that fully resonates with what it is or not, it just feels like that's where I'm at. And you know what? It really isn't about rules, even for myself, for anyone, for leaders. It's about declaring who we are. It's about thinking about what we've learned, what we've come through, and holding it as power and doing that without apology. And thinking about how to do that every day as a leader is a lot of work. But I know I'm not here to play small. And I know there's a lot of you who know me that would have never thought that I was ever playing small in the first place. But what I can tell you is that I have played small. And I think the reason that I have is because I have been thinking so much about what you think about me or what groups of you think about me. And that has informed the way I've chosen to use my voice, but no more. And you know what? It doesn't actually mean that I don't care what you think. I do. But I care that what you think is what you're passionate about, not that what you think is aligned with mine and what I think and what I care about. That we're all just able to boldly be who we are and to also fumble with it, right? Like I have fumbled all over myself for the better part of 30 plus professional years on the planet. And in that fumbling around, I have learned the voice that I want to call mine. And I want to use that voice. And I want to use clarity and compassion and conviction, but I also am going to continue to fumble. I'm going to fumble. And so are you. And being feisty as a leader means being aware that the fumble will come and we'll talk about it and I'll share that and then I'll pick myself up and keep moving. You know, I was wrapping up one of the classes that I teach just last night, or just 2 nights ago, actually. And this week sort of ends the summer semester, and it's been a tough road. It's been a really tough road with this class. It has felt like the dynamic of teaching project management has shifted. I found myself being even more vulnerable and sharing far more about my practitioner experience as a project manager and less about the rules of project management. And I realized that actually that's far more important to me. The students, of course, they didn't know any different, but for me, it felt like a different experience. And in the wrap up, I shared with them, this is what it means to do lessons learned as a professional. Doing lessons learned as a professional is not just a great project management practice. It's actually really important for us to be asking ourselves on a regular basis, what did I learn today about my career? What did I learn about me? What did I understand about others? And make notes to yourself. I've started to use Notebook LM a whole lot more. And if you don't know what that is, I highly encourage you to seek it out. It's a Google product. It's a great research tool. It's AI helping support diving deep and collecting thoughts, adding your own thoughts, asking AI to, I can like ramble to AI and then asking it to kind of refresh it, organize it, and put it into a succinct package so that I can read it, look at it, and see myself reflected there, and at the same time have a different perspective about maybe what my ramblings said about me. And I was encouraging students to do this habit, to get into this routine of practicing lessons learned, to respect the fact that the tough times are there for as teachers, and that those teachers are going to show us parts of ourselves that we're not comfortable with. You know, I talk a lot about worth. I talk about in the recent book that I'm a co-author in, I talk about my work ethic and how I discovered only lately that I had attached my worth, my value as a human and as a professional to how much I could task. And I recognize that, that worth isn't, it can't be attached to things because if it is, it's too vulnerable. It's too brittle. And, the need to be productive or perfect or please people, please you, it actually makes me more vulnerable. And I learned that the hard way. And I was encouraging my students to just don't do this. Take the initiative to think about your own life experience and to look for ways to increase your expert judgment by just living life and doing things and having exposure to a whole bunch of different things, traveling, volunteering, getting involved in your local community, doing things that engage you. I even talked to them about this funny thing, and I will just share it with you. I used to be one of those people that would go into the grocery store and get everything on my list and head down or even head up, but like not seeing anybody and get out through the checkout line and just get back to my car, get it all in and get home. And I realized um, probably about 15 years ago, maybe even less than that, that I was missing an opportunity to really grow in my own expert judgment on handling different people, being in situations where I could see and give unconditional positive regard to strangers. So now when I go to a grocery store, I look up, I look at people, I see them face to face, I smile at them. I'm not making friends. I'm not engaging that way, but I'm just more present. And when I'm in a checkout line, if I am, I mean, most of them are automated, right? Self-checkout is a thing, but having conversations or at least saying thank you and please and just being present and engaged, this has increased my ability to show up and be a better leader because that practicing presence has actually reminded me more about my value and the value of others, far more than a task list, far more than getting everything on my shopping list, which quite frankly, it seems impossible to do anymore. This week, I wanted capers. Do you think I could find capers anywhere? I mean, capers, they're pretty popular. You would think that they would be everywhere, but I hunted and I realized even that, like, who cares? You know what I did in place of the capers? Hot tip. This is my chef coming out. Hot tip. I just chopped up dill pickles. Uh-huh. Chopped up some dill pickles, and they just had to play the role as capers. And were they perfect? No, they were dill pickles, but dill pickles are awesome, and capers are too. And I just made it work. And I realized my value, my worth is not attached to the dill pickle or the caper. It's being present in the moment. It's being involved in my life. It's recognizing that it doesn't really matter, that those things can switch out, even in a work environment. Sometimes our resources aren't exactly what we planned, but using that entrepreneurship, that innovation, that creativity in those tough times and just going with it, man, lessons learned. Increasing your expertise, learning more about yourself, learning more about what you're capable of. This is the ultimate reward because our value is not attached to the list of getting it right or making people around us feel like we're awesome. Our value is in just being the present person that we are, seeing others, recognizing that the moments count and that every single moment that you go through builds resilience, builds opportunity for you to know more and to do more. So I'm going to continue to do this journey of the Feisty Manifesto. I'm actually going to perseverate on it as a professional because it really is feeling like it's unlocking parts of me that are ready to get unlocked. And I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you on Feisty Fridays like this. I'm going to share it with you in my writing. And I'm going to continue to do this walk of what it means to be a feisty leader and to be unapologetic about my value and my worth and to not play small. And to do that because I have learned and I am continuing to learn my inner voice. And that voice needs to be shared. I need to hear me say things so that I can commit to myself to also be grateful for the fact that I have a voice. And also, I want to hear your voice. I think we should do this together. So continue to join me on my feisty journey. This next week's newsletter, more feistiness is coming your way. And remember, the newsletter is on LinkedIn. It's always posted on Saturdays, and I post it at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time because I love angel numbers. I don't talk about that. And maybe that's weird for you. Sorry if it is, but also I am not people pleasing. I want you to know that I care about angel numbers, and angel numbers are when you see multiple numbers all together. They all have hidden meanings that I think could be what I give them meaning for. Doesn't matter. I think they're beautiful and wonderful. So look for my newsletter, 11:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on LinkedIn, and we'll see you next Friday for another Feisty Fridays.